Hello everybody, this is Tazlon at the Lighthouse, and we are here for Mini Clips Volume 2. The star of this mini clip is going to be Cougar 206 in his Type 64, and we aren't really going to highlight anything crazy or wacko or oh my god, how do you do that kind of thing. Actually going to show you a spotting location that I've never talked about before, even though I use it sometimes. And it's extremely effective in Encounter. Sometimes you can use it in standard mode. In mid-tier and upper mid-tier scouts. Not anywhere near as effective in higher tiers, but you can still get away with it sometimes. It's just the view ranges are so long there, it's hard to use. Works best if you have a scout built to spot, and it also is more effective if there aren't a whole bunch of fast tanks on the enemy team. So without further ado, here we go.
Let's go.
Watch where he goes to. Basically straight ahead to the left, that little group of trees. On the other side of those couple trees, there's a bush. Actually, two more bushes that will hide you very well. He's knocking down the trees to get a little bit more concealment. But there's a bush in the front of it you can use and not even knock down any trees at all. So if the enemies observe it, they won't notice that you knocked over a tree and know you're there, but he's choosing to sit in the back and fire. If you pull up front, you don't really have to fire. From the back, you can get away with it, but you have to watch where there are tanks with high vision.
Enemy armor is hit. Enemy armor is damaged.
Look at how much damage the team's piling. We're only a minute into the fight. They already have a 3,300 lead. He did 773 points of damage and got 1,801 spotting damage. So he's directly or indirectly responsible for 2,500 points of damage in the first minute of play in a tier 7 fight. And there's only 3. Actually, on the enemy team, there's only 2 tier 7s. There's not a huge hit point pool out there. They just took down over 20%, probably closer to 33% of the enemy hit points in the very first minute. They go on to win this fight handily, and if you ever get your team off to a start like this, unless they play really, really bad, you're going to get an easy win. So, as you can see, the bush is in G4. There's actually a couple trees and a couple of small bushes. If you sit in the back and knock the trees down, you can fire against anything but like lights or mediums that are closer, and you won't get seen, but then again, people see you knocking down the bush. If you pull up to the front bushes, you still stay concealed. You can look, just see a little bit farther north, but then you don't want to fire because almost anybody will see you. He was fortunate in this game. A lot of people stayed out here. A lot of the enemy team came down this way and this way to where he got easy spots. 2,500 points of damage in the first minute is atypical, but it shows you the potential for the spot. When I use it, I usually end up getting between 700 and maybe 1,000 points of damage out of it before I have to move, and that's the downside of it. Is you can see there's no quick way to escape. If you get spotted, you just have to run for it. If you fire and you think you got spotted, move. What I usually do, now he's going to move over this way. A lot of times what I do when I run out of things to spot or shoot at is I'll pull back this way and then decide where on the map I want to go. In this case, because there's so many tanks pushing here, I think he's coming over here and helping to push up the western edge, which is also a really good thing to do if you've taken control of the field. So quick look at a really good spotting location. It's kind of high risk because if you get seen, it's hard to get away. But if you don't get seen, you can do like this and almost ensure a victory at the very early stages of the game. From Seigfried Line Encounter mode, Cougar 206 in his Type 64, showing off one of the better spotting locations on this map. Happy hunting!